guys do. That was the longest press conference I've ever seen.
Danny had a lot to say.
Huh?
Danny had a lot to say.
Well, first, I thought the Garden was as good as I've seen it. When I was at Louisville, Big East tournaments, I thought it was unbelievable how good the Garden was. I said 70-30, 60-40, that was 90-10. Tremendous crowd, proud of our fans, excited for our fans. These two guys just give me every single day, everything people don't realize, I've had great players that sometimes they give it to you in practice, sometimes they don't. I'm not gonna mention any names. But these two guys give it to me every single day. This guy's given it to me for 3 years. And it's an amazing tribute to both of them that they played so great tonight. The way he played at the beginning of the game. When a team shoots 54-7 from 2 in a game, 47.4, tough to win that type of game. But just shows you how good these guys are with their persistence. Zuby in every single timeout. So we got 3 minutes, we got 4 minutes, and my message before the game was, you just can have no fear of failure. We're definitely gonna win this. You have no fear. If they cut it to 2, no fear of failure. We watched both Providence games when Providence lost the lead and why, and these guys just responded in a great way. So they deserve it. Great group to coach, as I've said 200 times. So it's 201.
Okay, we'll start with questions for Zuby or Dillon. Go ahead, Zach.
Zuby, at the Horn, I saw you kind of maybe running over to the student section. You seem pretty animated. Can you just describe that moment, beating the #3 team in the country on your home floor, what that was like tonight?
Just an all around, just great, atmosphere to play basketball. Friday night, MSG, great opponent. And, like Coach said, we had more of a home crowd than we thought, and, the student crowd was engaged. Everybody, from top to bottom was really engaged, and, the moment when the buzzer sounded and it was over and you realized that you just, beat a really well-coached team, and all the emotions really just flew out, and I can't even remember, what was done or what was said, but I just let it all out, and just a fantastic, atmosphere to be in.
And just to piggyback on that, 21 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals, 3 block shots. You're gonna make me retire. I'm not living life without you.
Dillon, you've played a lot of college basketball, and I'm sure in a lot of different atmospheres and environments. Can you kind of compare what the Garden was like tonight to your past experiences, wherever they might have been?
I mean, you really can't. That many people just so into the game. I guess a close second I would say was like Ejifior Cincy last year. That was a good one last year. But I mean, being here in that type of atmosphere, they're into it every second of the game. You hear them, they're loud, they're supporting. We pick off a lot on that. We play hard, not only for the fans and stuff, but for us. But I mean, it's exciting to hear it. It's definitely different. It's something that I'm blessed to be a part of.
How much of an advantage was that for your team?
Big time. Just hearing the fans, knowing that they're there, then picking off on them, but at the same time trying to stay together. A lot of emotions go through the night, just playing hard and hearing the fans and trying to give it everything we got. But we kept saying every huddle to stay solid, don't let the emotions take over. Just keep going out there and doing what we have to do.
I have one for each player. Dillon, in the winning streak leading up to this game, can you sort of describe whether you felt like a night like tonight was going to happen and why?
I think it's just our preparation. We're always really prepared for teams going into games. We took this the same as any other game, just going in there prepared, and I could see just our focus going into this game. I knew that this would be a game that we're going to come out the right way. Just our focus the past couple of days in the film room, on the court, going over things, just the focus that we've had the past couple of days. I could tell that all the guys were locked in.
Zuby, in watching the way that you guys made so many important, crucial plays in the last 4 or 5 minutes, did you see something from this team for a first time tonight in a game?
Nothing different that I haven't seen all year. I think it was a really passionate game. It was a meaningful game. We knew exactly what we're playing for. But all the credit to UConn. They're a great team. But like Dillon Mitchell said, our preparation leading up to this game was as great as it's been, and the coaching staff did a great job of just showing us areas where we could be the most successful, on offense and defense, and we honed in on that, and we were able to lock in for full 40 minutes for the most part, and just really grind it out, and do whatever it takes to win each and every possession.
Both of you guys talked about how great the environment was here tonight. You're going to play them at least once more at their place, maybe a second time here. Just what do you anticipate kind of in the environment and future games, and how much confidence does this give you going forward?
Worried about Xavier.
I think you said it best. We're really gonna just hone in on and focus in on our next opponent, because they're as great as any team in this league, and you can't take any team in this league for granted, honestly. But when UConn comes again, we'll be ready for them. But we just gotta put all our focus in on Xavier at this moment.
Thanks, Zuby. Thanks, Dillon.
Appreciate y'all.
Thanks, fellas.
All right, cool.
Curfew at 5 a.m.
For you or them. Rick, after the Xavier game, you said Dillon Darling has balls the size of church bells. What did you think of him tonight? The step back three.
I think they just keep growing and growing.
Coach Pitino, to get 30-plus minutes out of 4 different players, what does that mean to you in terms of playing a team like UConn?
Well, sometimes the press doesn't necessarily. I probably had 15 times where it could have been a 5-second count, and we didn't get the call. So, but it wears you out. A lot of times, the benefits of the press is physically they're trying to get open for 5 seconds, and it tires you. And it wears on your rebounding, it wears on your passing. So, from rebounding and turnovers and assists, we did a great job tonight. Our bench has been playing great. Dillon Mitchell is, he played 35 minutes, and I was all over him the entire night in a positive way, because he needed to stay on the floor and he was getting tired. I said, there's no fatigue in this game. Come on, man, dig in, dig in, dig in. And he did. That tip that he made was amazing, absolutely amazing.
Rick, feeding off of that point, this particular game, in the first half, you guys were able to execute in getting their bigs into foul trouble early. And as the game wore on, it seemed like even though they kept trying to come back, the character of your players seemed to not bend. And you talked all season about what a group of guys this is. Talk about, their character in this game and what it showed you.
Well, I use the expression, no fear of failure. I said it every single time out. I said, whether we go up 12, they cut it to 2, we have no fear. We're going to win this game. And I showed them both Providence games of losing a lead and how good they can be with that 3-point shot. So we were honed in. Every single player was honed in. They did a fabulous job of doing things down the stretch to help you win.
Rick, how do you feel about there have been a number of games that have been like big field games, but for your guys to finally accomplish a win in one of those games, how does it make you feel for them?
Well, like I've said so many times, this is the best group of people, character-wise, that I've coached in my 52 years. There's not one problem, not one guy that gets out of line, not one guy that doesn't give me everything. They root for each other whether they play 10 seconds or 10 minutes, it doesn't matter. So it's a unique group, and that's why they keep getting better and better. They prepare very well. I've got a staff that I've kept, and that's really important in this day and age. That we all know every single thing that we expect. You know, in football, if you keep your offensive coordinator, your defensive coordinator, you keep your special teams coach, you're going to be successful. And I've kept my coaches because I'm such a joy to work for.
The accomplishment of beating the number 3 team.
I think it's great, and I'm certainly going to celebrate tonight, Roger, and hope you will too. But we've got Xavier. Xavier was up on us, and anytime a team's up on you, there's a reason they're up on you. We didn't do something well, so we're going to, first thing in the morning, lock in on Xavier, and make sure that we're ready for them. They're coming off a tough loss against UConn. They will be ready. I know my son will be ready. And we just got to keep it going and keep getting better. And that's been our motto the whole season. Every single day, try and get better. Try and get better, individually, collectively.
Coach, I know before the season you were on Bryce to develop what you called more of a Mamba mentality. How much over the last 2 or 3 weeks has he just been more and more assertive and being more of an alpha?
It's very good, John, because that's exactly the truth. You know, he really has. From last game, you know, I told him when he went to the line, he missed those free throws. I said, I guarantee you, I'm yelling, you're making these 2. Guarantee you're making these 2. And then he made him, he went like this. But Bryce has definitely been a factor in these wins and the way we're playing. Because I don't, you know, Oziah tonight had 4 in and out threes. I'm shocked that he missed those free throws. Shocked, because he's such a good free throw shooter. But they were all in and out. They thought they were all good. And he'll rebound from that as well. But what Bryce, Dillon, and Zuby are doing in the front court is pretty special.
Rick, did you notice anything throughout this season, like a turning point for Dillon Darling? I mean, maybe struggled early on after the Iona game. You talked about fixing his shot, and since then he's been one of your best players. Was there a moment that you had with him that you?
I think it's a tough adjustment going from where he was to this level, going from where he's playing to Madison Square Garden. It just takes a little time. It takes time. Like I told you many times, it's just really difficult every year putting new groups together. And fortunately this has been a little easier because of such great guys, but it's still, from an execution standpoint, defensively, offensively, we knew that rebounding was a problem and we did something about it, and they bought into that. So Dillon is really, his level of wanting to take over a game is amazing to me. Really is. You know, he comes off a play, breaks the play and goes to the rim, makes a great steal, gets to the floor, makes a big 3. It's really amazing what he's doing right now.
Rick, last year you guys forced DeMary into 10 turnovers. Tonight it was 9. Is there anything specific you guys have figured out in terms?
Well, he played well. You know, it's just that we wanted to pressure him the entire night and just fatigue him. But he's playing great basketball. He's shooting 56% from 3, and tonight he was 1 for 2. Just keeping the pressure on him, and that's the key to any good defense. Just keeping pressure on them, so at the end of the game they don't rebound quite as well, they don't run the ball into their hands quite as well. We made a big steal there when we had it, even though we missed the free throws. We made a lot of big plays tonight, a lot of big plays, and I'm proud of our guys for just not panicking one bit at any point in the game.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay, thank you.